Today's show is sponsored by ExpressVPN. One-click protection for all your devices. Securing yourself could not be easier. Visit expressvpn.com/inside. Welcome to Inside Gaming. I'm Brian. It's weekend roundup time. Guys, we got to talk about Activision Blizzard again because it is the gift that keeps on giving. And by gift, I mean a flaming pile of Yes, things keep going from bad to worse over at Activision Blizzard, specifically Blizzard, as we're seeing more leadership flee the company as the heat continues to turn up. Why are so many people leaving Blizzard? Well, because there continues to be major fallout after Activision Blizzard was sued by the state of California over some really horrible claims of sexual harassment, abuse, and gender-based discrimination. And while Activision Blizzard was named in the suit, they're the overarching company, much of the allegations center around conduct at Blizzard specifically. So, here are the latest people off the sinking ship. First up, Blizzard's chief legal officer, who recently announced that she's leaving the company after 3 years. Claire Hart wrote on LinkedIn, "After more than 3 years at Blizzard Entertainment, I've decided to move on to my next adventure." Her next adventure being not dealing with the 20 million lawsuits filed against Blizzard. She went on to say, "The past 3 years have been full of unexpected twists and turns, but I feel honored to have worked with and met so many great people at Blizzard and across the Activision Blizzard businesses." This reminds me of a buddy of mine who worked in auto parts at Walmart, and one time he was at the register and there was just a line for a mile long and he just quit on the spot. That's what this reminds me of. She obviously didn't mention the California lawsuit, but obviously that is in the background of everything that goes on at Blizzard. She is not the only high-ranking executive to leave. Let's go to number 2. Bloomberg reported that Chaco Sonny, an executive producer of Overwatch, told staff last week that he is also leaving Blizzard. Sonny didn't mention the massive scandal either, but wrote to colleagues that working at Blizzard, quote, "has been an absolute privilege and one of the best experiences of my career." Bloomberg cited several Blizzard sources saying Sonny was well respected. They weren't aware of any allegations against him. Sounded like a good dude. He also was looked at as a stabilizing force on the Overwatch team after director Jeff Kaplan left earlier this year. Blizzard put out a statement saying Sonny was, quote, "leaving Blizzard to take some time off after 5 years of service." They added, "The deep, talented Overwatch team is making excellent progress on Overwatch 2, and thanks to their hard work, the game is in the final stages of production. We'll be sharing more at the Overwatch League Grand Finals later this month." And whenever they use words like deep and talented, they're trying to be like, we still have people working on the game, we promise. Oh, and one more recent departure to put a cherry on top of this Sunday. I sound like Mr. Leahy from Trailer Park Boys now. Activision Blizzard's Chief People and Diversity Officer, Claudine Naughton, also leaving this month. So, yes, everyone's leaving because when something this awful happens, nobody wants to stick around for the fallout. Obviously, these aren't the first to leave. There's been a string of others, including Blizzard President J. Allen Brack, who was pushed out, and several developers. So, fallout from the scandal continues. It has gotten to the point where Activision apparently removed its own name from the marketing materials in the upcoming Call of Duty Vanguard. That's how toxic the company's name is right now. And even worse news for the company, the U.S. government is getting involved. Uh-oh. The Wall Street Journal reported that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has started a wide-reaching investigation into how Activision Blizzard handled all the allegations of abuse and harassment and toxic behavior. They have subpoenaed lots of people, including CEO Bobby Kotick. Something tells me Bobby's going to be wanting to take some time off soon or spend some more time with his family or whatever rich people say when they want to get out and not get in trouble. They've also subpoenaed a bunch of other executives too. Oh, and they're asking Activision Blizzard to hand over documents like the personnel files of 6 previous employees and records of Kotick's communications with executives relating to the numerous complaints of sexual harassment and discrimination. An Activision Blizzard spokeswoman confirmed that the SEC was investigating, saying that they're focused on the, quote, company's disclosures regarding employment matters and related issues. They added that they are cooperating with the SEC. Kotick responded, saying that leadership is, quote, deeply committed to making Activision Blizzard one of the best, most inclusive places to work anywhere. Now, before you start thinking, oh, this is cool, the government is gonna like make things right, they're gonna get justice for all these people who are harassed, It's actually just about protecting investors. The Wall Street Journal said that the SEC is trying to determine whether Activision executives adequately disclosed all these allegations of harassment to investors and other individuals, and if these disclosures happened quickly enough. Basically, did investors know about these allegations so they could keep their precious money safe? This is basically like rich people did something bad, so we need to make sure that other rich people are okay, because that is how this country works. Oh, and meanwhile, Blizzard has a new game out. Well, kind of. Diablo II Remastered released recently, and some people have wondered if they should really be supporting Blizzard right now when it's under such a bad spotlight, to put it mildly. Well, the game's design director, Rob Gallerani, seemed to leave that decision up to players. Kind of an interesting quote in an interview with Axios Gaming earlier this month. He said that folks trying to decide if they should buy the game should, quote, do what they feel is right. He added that it was definitely troubling to hear these types of things, referring to the misconduct allegations. So it seems like even current employees at Blizzard are very conflicted about the state of the company right now, as in, do I really want to be working here? That explains why people are headed to the exits, and this probably won't be the end of it. Meanwhile, as of Wednesday, the company's stock has plunged nearly 20% over the last 6 months. That is nuts. All right, we'll get to the rest of the stories in just a second. But first, guys, let's talk about Purple. Sometimes it can feel like the world is against you getting a good night's sleep. There's already a ton of things to be anxious about. There's the heat. There's climate change. I got up, it was 56 degrees outside. We wear heavy coats for that in Texas. But when you have a Purple mattress, you can sleep cool and comfortable no matter what the world throws your way. That's because only Purple mattress has the grid. It's a unique ventilated design that lets air flow through it, which helps you sleep cool even when it's 1,000,000 degrees outside. The grid is supportive to your back and legs while somehow also being cushiony for your shoulder, neck, and hips. What kind of dark magic is this, Purple? Come on, share your secret with the rest of us. I have one of the Purple pillows. It's great. It's comfortable, but it also stabilizes me. That grid technology is real. It's like, I'm going to hold you, Brian, in place, but also it's going to be super, super soft. I'm the grid. You can sleep with me. I made it weird. I'm sorry, Purple. Purple is comfort reinvented. Right now, you'll get 10% off any order of $200 or more. Go to purple.com/roundup10 and use promo code roundup10. That's purple.com/roundup10, promo code roundup10, or 10% off any order of $200 or more. Purple.com/roundup10, promo code roundup10. Terms apply. On to the rest of the stories. Now, we have reported that Deathloop has had some issues on PC, like visual stuttering and some inconsistencies in frame rates. Well, Arkane Studios has come up with a fix for at least some of those issues. In a post on Reddit, a Bethesda employee said they released a hotfix on PC, quote, that addresses an issue experienced by some players whereby mouse-based camera movement could result in the appearance of stutter. They added, we're also looking into a separate but related issue that we have identified as a factor that may also be a cause of stuttering at high frame rates. We will update further on this as soon as we have more information. The first patch, it's live now, and people who still experience stuttering issues on PC, they're being encouraged to contact customer service and submit a ticket in order to help in testing another hotfix. Could you soon start playing Steam games while they're downloading? Ooh, the future. The PC gamers always getting this newfangled technology. Well, Valve might be working on it thanks to some patents dug up by SteamDB's Pavel Jundik. He tweeted that a new patent filed for in March of last year will, quote, allow instant play where you can start a game before it finishes downloading. Now, of course, we have seen that feature before on the PS4 and the Xbox One. Current gen consoles have it. Valve also tried that. Remember Mortal Kombat 10 a few years back, but that was a huge mess and they removed it. So there you go. That is not all they're working on though. Jundik also added that other patents included, quote, freeing up space by removing unused data and prefetching data to decrease latency when loading. So sounds cool. The mega corporation slap fight between Apple and Epic Games continues. You know they've been involved in a huge legal fight after Epic sued Apple last year over whether or not players would be allowed to make Fortnite purchases outside of Apple's App Store. And Apple was like, no, we want a cut of those tasty V-Bucks money. And Epic was like, no, we want all the V-Bucks money. But Apple was like, no, if they want to floss on iOS, they got to pay us. And Epic was like, you, we're suing. So here's what happened. A federal judge issued a ruling, kind of a split decision. She said that Apple didn't show antitrust conduct, but she also said that Apple was being non-competitive under California law and ruled that Apple would no longer be able to ban developers from using their own payment systems through iPhone apps. So Apple's not going to get a cut of that floss money. Not surprisingly, Apple got mad, removed Fortnite from its app store, and said it is not going to change anytime soon. Epic CEO Tim Sweeney, who has never not been mad online, posted a letter that he had gotten from Apple saying that, in his words, Fortnite will be blacklisted from the Apple ecosystem until the exhaustion of all court appeals, which could be as long as a 5-year process. In the letter, Apple also cited Epic's duplicitous conduct in the past, which is lawyer speak for it. So yeah, Apple basically saying, we're not going to let your stupid app in our store until we absolutely have to, because we can afford all the lawyers in the world and drag this out forever. I really don't have an opinion on this case other than the let them fight me. All right, so here's some good news. A potentially fatal flaw with the PS4 has been fixed. I love it when people fix fatal flaws. Earlier this year, it was discovered that the best-selling console had a problem with its internal CMOS battery. DualShockers reported that if the battery hypothetically was to die and the console didn't have access to the internet, it would become unable to boot any games or media. That's real bad. Why did that happen? Because the CMOS battery, it's needed to sync the time which the trophies were earned. That's obviously a bad situation, especially considering that more than 100 million PS4s were sold and nobody wants to turn them into a brick. So we don't want to bury them in a landfill like we had to do with all those copies of E.T. Does anybody... Kids gather around. There was once a system called the Atari 2600, and there was a really popular movie called E.T., and they were like, oh, let's make a game out of it. Let's hire a college student and give them like 2 weeks to do it. And it was garbage, but it was legendary garbage. Anyway, Sony did listen, and now in patch 9.00, the issue is fixed. Now games and media can boot without an internet connection. This was verified by the YouTuber Modern Vintage Gamer, who did some tests to confirm that the issue was fixed. So that's cool. All right, time for a 5-second review. At first I called it Kina, but then my editor Evan was like, no dude, it's Kina, and you might get goofed on if you called it Kina. So I re-recorded it and called it Kina, but in my mind, it's Kina, Bridge of Spirits. Da, 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 da. All right, let's talk about the games coming out next week. First up, Chernobylite is a science fiction survival horror RPG. It's set in the hyper-realistic 3D scanned wasteland of Chernobyl's exclusion zone. Explore a non-linear storyline in your search to uncover the truth of your tortured past. Comes to PS4 and Xbox One September 28th. Ghost Runner offers a unique single-player experience, fast-paced, violent combat, and an original setting that blends science fiction with post-apocalyptic themes. It tells the story of a world that is already ended and its inhabitants who fight to survive. Comes to the PS5 and the Xbox Series X September 28th. In Sound Mind is an imaginative first-person psychological horror with frenetic puzzles, unique boss fights, and original music by the Living Tombstone. Journey within the inner workings of the one place you can't seem to escape, your own mind. It comes to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X September 28th. Limnus Gate is the revolutionary turn-based combat strategy FPS taking place in a time loop. Master the unique abilities of powerful deep space operatives and compete in mind-bending 4-dimensional battles. Comes to the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, September 28th. New World! No way, is this really out? Wow, New World, the game that was delayed forever. Explore a thrilling open-world MMO made by Amazon, filled with danger and opportunity where you'll forge a new destiny on the supernatural world of Eternum. You can do anything you want except take bathroom breaks on company time. It comes to PC September 28th. Guardians of Hylore is an action-packed unit recruitment game pitting your units and strategies against an onslaught of enemies. Hire units, improve your troops, earn achievements, and spawn your Guardian to fight 150 plus unique enemies in this exciting take on the army spawning action genre. Comes to PC September 29th. Insurgency Sandstorm is a team-based tactical FPS based on lethal close quarters combat and objective-oriented multiplayer gameplay. Experience the intensity of modern combat where skill is rewarded and teamwork wins the fight. Oh no, I have to make friends. It comes to the PS5 PS4 and Xbox One, September 29th. Aeon Drive, rush through the cyberpunk landscapes of Neo Barcelona in Aeon Drive. Or Eon Drive? I don't know. I always called it Aeon Flux. An action platformer with a speedrunning twist. Whether solo or an up to 4-player co-op, sprint and dash through many areas of the neon-infused city and use your time and space-bending abilities to get ahead. It comes to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, September 30th. Darksiders 3, return to an apocalyptic Earth in Darksiders 3, a hack-and-slash action adventure where players assume the role of Fury in her quest to hunt down and dispose of the 7 deadly sins. The most enigmatic of the 4 horsemen, Fury must bring balance to the forces that now ravage the Earth. Wait! It's the 4 horsemen, not the 4 horsewomen. Not historically accurate. Anyway, it comes to the Switch September 30th. Demon Skin. This is a brutal hack and slash with a challenging combat system that plunges you into the harsh, dark fantasy world to test your will and your skill. Only those who dare to get into the Demon Skin can survive. It comes to the PS4, Xbox One, and the Switch September 30th. Hot Wheels Unleashed. Collect the best vehicles in the Hot Wheels universe. Step on them in your kid's room. Build spectacular tracks and dive into breathtaking races. Comes to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, September 30th. Jurassic World Aftermath Part 2, bringing the story to its thrilling conclusion. Jurassic World Aftermath Part 2 picks up right where players left off last December. Having crash-landed on Isla Nublar, your mission to recover top-secret research becomes an even more straightforward mission: to survive. It comes to Oculus VR September 30th. The Last Friend, doggone tired of the typical brawler or tower defense that is all bark and no bite. This must be a dog game. Then join Alpha and T1 on a dynamic adventure that has you battling hordes of baddies and bosses on their mission to save all the doggos. I hate the word doggos. I know this is old man yelling at cloud territory. Just call them dogs. You don't need to add just dog. Save all the doggos and puppers. It's puppy. It comes to PC and Switch September 30th. Rogue Lords, a dark fantasy roguelike where you play as the devil. Lead famous evil geniuses through events and turn-based fights to spread terror and corruption, create synergies between your disciples, use your evil powers, and take revenge on those miserable demon hunters. Comes to PC September 30th. And finally, FIFA 22. Experience unrivaled authenticity in FIFA 22 with the most true-to-life experience of the world's game, featuring football's biggest stars and teams. With 17,000 players plus across 700 plus teams and 100 stadiums and over 30 leagues. Holy crap, soccer is big. FIFA 22 is the only place where you can play the iconic UEFA Champions League, and I'm gonna mess up a lot of these names. I promise I'm not trying to be offensive. The UEFA Europa League, brand new UEFA Europa Conference League, CONMEBOL Libertadores, CONMEBOL Sudamerican Premier League, Bundesliga, and La Liga Santander. I'm gonna get canceled for reading those names. I just know it. It comes to the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, and the Xbox One, October 1st. That's all the news I got for you this week, guys. I hope you're having a great weekend. We'll see you soon.